before I actually changed these grow lights up here because they make the camera flicker for some odd reason. So I hope you all can see. I won't be on here very long. I'm going to move it just a little bit closer, but I did want to share with you all what I was doing. I'm about 2 days behind. I should have done this about 2 to 3 days ago, but it's better now than not doing it at all. So this live kind of, I'm giving you a status of the two videos that we have done, the two recent videos. One was about lavender, how to get it to germinate. I've seen a lot of people kind of have a hard time getting lavender to germinate. And one of the things that I have found that helps lavender germinate a little bit better is I will put my seeds in the freezer for about 4 to 6 weeks, maybe even longer, because that's going to simulate winter. And then I will take it out and I will start seeds. And since lavender seeds are small, I will soil block them, which is what we're doing today. One of the type of lavenders that I'm trying new this season is called a fern leaf lavender, and I'll put this up a little bit close. You can see that it's starting to get, oh man, hold on y'all, let me just show you one that I've already potted up, and we'll pot up this one. But it's called fern leaf lavender, and you can see the leaves are different than like your normal type of lavenders, but we soil blocked it, and I really need to move. This is basil, this is viola, this is zatar. So I'm just spending some time potting them up. Now, y'all know I love soil blocking, but one of the things that you have to think about is potting them up. Now, I have a 2-inch soil blocker. I could use that. But I'm just going to start them off right here. I'm pretty sure I'll have to pot them off again, just so I'll have enough room in here. So with the soil blocks, this is the method that I use it. Y'all know I'm one of those gardeners that will never tell you, you got to do it this way, you got to do it that way. Hey, Shirley, how are you? You have to find what works for you. And so when they get like this, you'll notice a lot of the roots may be starting to get tangled, which is why I should have done this, but we're doing it now. But the easiest way that I've found to separate the soil blocks as well is I go in with like a butter knife. This is my garden butter knife. And you can see where the blocks are at. And some of these I must plant at 2 per seeds. So with those, I'm being real careful. I'm separating them, but since this is a new type of lavender, and sometimes lavender can be a little bit difficult. Now, sometimes I will just cut it off at the soil line, but I'm not doing this with my fern leaf lavender. I'm saving them. So with these, you could see this is 2 different plants. I'm going to try to get close. Do y'all see? It's 2 different plants. Now with these, I've been really carefully separating them like this so that I still have the roots intact. Okay. And then I've already, so let's talk about the soil real quick because I've been getting a lot of questions. Soil blocking soil is different than seed starting mix, is different from potting soil. So with your soil blocks, the soil blocks is different. Now this one is a peat moss base. Some of them are coconut coir base, but I've found that the peat moss base works well for me because I'm going to show y'all when you start to separate these soil blocks, or when you soil block, when you water them, you don't want the soil to disintegrate. If I use a seed starting mix, because seed starting mix is really light, it's really fluffy. If I were to water these, let me see if I may have some water right here. Yep, let me try to show y'all what I'm talking about. So when I water these, you'll notice that the soil doesn't like start disintegrating within the plant. You'll see how it really is going to, you'll start to see the water dissolve in here. Let me get it closer. Do y'all see? Like this is the plant just sucking it up. But if this was a seed starting mix, this soil would be just like disintegrated. And then the potting mix, what we're potting them up in, it's a different mix. Now, normally your seed starting mix is probably either coconut coir. perlite because you need that drainage. And then the potting mix has the wood chips, maybe sand, maybe topsoil, maybe a little compost. This potting mix that I'm using actually has a little bit of fertilizer in there. When they say NPK, it has the fertilizer. So all I do is I take this right here. This is one plant, and I'm just going to make like a little indentation right here. I'm going to pop this in here, and I'm just going to like tightly around here do it like this. Just kind of get it intact with the soil. And sometimes you might have to add a little bit of soil around it, you know, just kind of like that, because when I get ready to water this, then some of the soil is going to like the soil level is going to go down again. So I'll watch it. And so I did the same thing. This is a bonsai basil. We're trying this new too, but I'll show you some that has been growing the bonsai basil in this potting soil. So this is how these started off as these soil blocks over here, just like that. And then we potted them up in these. And the only reason why I'm using this, y'all, because when I tell you I'm running out of space. And like I shared with somebody on another video, if I were to go today and get another seed starting rack and 2, 4, 6, 8 LED shop lights, because I'm gonna have to have Chris to put it together, that's gonna be a whole different conversation. And so I need to go ahead and focus on potting them up. And maybe after I've started all my seeds and got them to growing, maybe I might do that. But I will need him to put everything together. And I already know how the conversation gonna go. The first question is gonna be, how many how many seed racks do you think you need? Don't you think you already have enough? So we're not even about to go into that, y'all. You just have to know Chris to know. He'll put it together, but I'm gonna get questioned. Okay, so what I'm also doing is, okay, so we'll do that one, because remember that was 2. Roots look really good right here. So I'm going to just go ahead. Once again, I'm trying to get close, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead. I just make a little hole with my finger, and I just put it down in here, and then take the soil and just go around the base of the plant. But this lets you know I really needed to pot these up, because these are the cotyledons. This is what every plant gets. And then these got about 2 sets of true leaves, but it already smells like lavender. It smells good. So this is the fern leaf lavender, and I'm really, I really want to see how these come out. So I got to do it for all of these. Then this is, again, this is za'atar. This is a spice that I've tried in the past. And then this is more bonsai basil. So that's what we're doing. And so I just really wanted to come on here. And that's a good one, Dakota. He asked you that. Ask him how many veggies he wants to eat and what quality seasoning he wants. There you go. That's a good one. I'm going to use that, because let me tell y'all just a little side story real quick. Chris will always take me to the grocery store, but he will not go in. And so he went in the other day and looked at these prices and couldn't believe it. And I was like, yeah, this is what I tell you about. But that's a good one. I'll have to use that one. So I'm just going to go through. And what I do, y'all, too, as well, I just pick these little trays up. Walmart here. We're going to do another video of the Walmart garden items that we found. I got to edit the video, put it up for you all. But they have just these little trays right here, just kind of holding trays. I think they were like $3, and we'll say $3.27 or something. And so I'm going to take this out. I want to show y'all the geranium too. I'm going to take this out and just line these up with it. The only reason why I have this geranium, I'm going to show y'all in a minute, is because evidently a hole must have gotten in the bottom, and I went to bottom water the other day, and water was just like everywhere. So that is, I would say, with the lavender, because a lot of people say they have a problem with it. So again, I would suggest you like put it in the freezer, put it in the refrigerator to try to simulate a winter. Then take it out, then plant it. Now, we planted each of these 1/2 inch soil blocks equals 20 plants. So we planted 20 soil blocks, 2, 4, 6, 8. So it's probably about a 60% germination rate that we got with the lavender, which I think that's pretty good. Yeah, we got about a 60% germination. Now the bonsai basil, that's pretty much 100%. I never have any issues with my basil. Like they always grow. But that to me has helped me, especially when it comes to lavender, to be able to start them from seeds. And we got a lot of lavender, but this one just caught my eye because it said it was like a fern leaf lavender. And then if you didn't see the other day, make sure you go back and watch the Tractor Supply video because the Munstead lavender comes as like a bare root. So we got a couple of those because we're adding those to the herb garden because y'all know the herbal tea that we came out with, I ran out of lavender. And I'm the type of person that says never again. So that's why we're going to grow a whole bunch of lavender this season. Now, let's talk about the other video that we put out, which was what I'm doing this gardening season because every zone or every all over the world is different type of pests that people have to deal with. When I was in the Savannah area, the leaf-footed bugs were disrespectful. The slugs were disrespectful. Sometimes the snails. We had a few Japanese beetles I would see, but the way they really disrespected the roses this last season, it was so, I've never seen that many Japanese beetles like on roses like that. And I was just like, what in the world? So I did my research, looked online, and one of the things that a lot of people suggested online was adding geraniums around your roses because the scent that it gives off. So this is my way of naturally trying to control the Japanese beetles because it was a lot. Now, I've had some people, and if y'all know, put it in the comments. I've had some people, like the guy that was at the Master Gardener here, he said, don't use the Japanese beetle trap because it's going to be Japanese beetles coming all over because they're coming to that. Although they come to the trap, but some of them don't get in the trap. Some of them go to your roses. He said it's going to have a scent and then it's going to attract ones that you didn't even want there. So, but then one lady I said on social media, she said it worked for her and she didn't have it. So I'm gonna try the geranium way first, but I just wanted to share with you. We just put that video up not too long ago, and I'm doing real good for myself, y'all. I gotta be proud. So on the 18th of January, we started our seeds. This is the bullseye cherry. We have one that's going to be pink and one that's going to be red. I wish I could have got white and I can hear the water, but let me see if I could step back because the germination rate on these geraniums, they were like 92% and they are excellent. It was an excellent, and I can even see these coming up. So it might be close to, yeah, about 92, 95%. And then they're actually starting to get some of their leaves. Let me show you all. I think I got some. Maybe this was it. But what I'm going to do is once they start really getting their true leaves like this over here, maybe about 2 sets of leaves, that's when I go in with the liquid fertilizer because remember now, let me tell y'all this when you seed starting. Here's the thing. So I'm going to go in with the liquid fertilizer and I'm going to fertilize it, but I'm not going to fertilize it full strength because they're still small and they're still little seedlings. As a matter of fact, now that I'm talking to y'all, I'm probably going to use these, maybe not even half strength. I'm going to say like a fourth of strength for these new, when I water these in, I'm going to use this probably because remember, these are soil blocks. They don't have a lot of nutrients in here, and the seeds have just enough energy to kind of push them out. depending on what seed starting mix you use, they don't have a lot of nutrients in there either, because it's light, it's fluffy, and it's made so that the seeds can use that energy, the reserve energy, and push up through the soil. So that's what the seed, that's the real big difference between seed starting mix. The potting soil, it does have a little bit of nutrients, but even when you start seeds inside, you still need to kind of feed them a little bit. Feed them a little bit. Make sure that when you get ready to harden them off, they are strong and healthy. And I will show y'all. I have been, maybe this might be my second time. Let me take y'all off the tripod right here. So I've been doing the feeding with this. It's by a spoma, but I've been doing the feeding. It's called Start. It's real light to begin with. It's just like a 1-2-2, meaning your nitrogen, your phosphorus, your potassium. But then, like I said, I still take it to a really low dose just to give it a few nutrients, get it started, help it to be healthy. And I've been doing that for the summer savory. And so this is like what the summer savory looks like. This is my second time using the liquid fertilizer. I got my summer savory. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a video, y'all. We got marjoram over here. And a lot of people say, how do you get your plants so bushy? Well, see, I'm going to start like clipping. I'm going to make it bushy. I'm going to start clipping back to the next set of leaves so that it could start like branching out. That's what I'm going to do for the marjoram. The summer savory, it seems to be pretty good. But let me tell y'all something. And I'll probably do a separate video. Remember I said, I wonder what the big difference is between summer savory, winter savory, because we have winter savory out in the garden now. Now, the winter savory is a perennial. The summer savory is an annual. And the perennial means that it'll come back every year. The summer savory, we're going to put it out after all chances of frost have passed, after we harden it off, and then it doesn't tolerate frost, basically. That's what that means. And it had a long stalk to come up. So I pinched it off, and you might can see where I pinched it off because it may be sending out some side shoots. Yep, right here. So I pinched it off. Let me tell y'all, this summer savory got a little bite to it. Not like a heat peppery, but it's something to make, if you've never tasted it, it's something to make you like stop. Because I just actually put the leaf in my mouth and chewed it. It makes you stop and say, okay, let me see what hints. Now, it does have hints of thyme, oregano, but it also has like this little peppery bite to it. And I was like, oh, okay, we may can use those on potatoes or something like that. But a lot of people actually like summer savory. But I just thought, every year that I garden, y'all, I try to pick something new to grow. So this year so far is that the fern leaf lavender, and it's also the summer savory. I think that's all new that like I haven't grown before. And before y'all get off, let me make sure I'm not missing anything. I saved 2 cherry pits, removed the seeds, and need to germinate them. Okay. I've heard slugs don't like mint plants, but I haven't been able to test it. Make sure you put the mint in a container. I'm telling you, I'm dealing with mint now. So the old owners put mint in the ground. I don't care. Wherever I pull it up from, it's like it pop out somewhere else a few feet away. I even put weed fabric down. When they say mint is hard to, once it starts, it's hard. It's not a lie. It is not a lie, because they grow by rhizomes underneath. And you might have a piece of mint like right under your feet, but the rhizomes might be about 5-6 feet away. That's still growing, that's still popping up. Now for the slugs, I had bought beer traps. You can also use like yeast water, but these traps, you're gonna have to change them every few days. But it's a product called Sluggo. It's said it's organic, that I actually shake in my garden beds and in the raised beds, and it seems to help them, because some of the leafy greens that are like in ground, they were starting to chew on those. And I do notice that when I put the Sluggo down, that they kind of lightened up a little bit. My goal is always to decrease the population and just don't let it get out of control to where I have to actually pull the plant, which is what I've had to do in the past. Like if it just gets that bad to where I'm just like, you know what, I don't know if this plant will be able to fight too much longer. But so far in a few years, I haven't had to do that. But it also goes back to me developing a routine to just making sure I'm checking on a regular basis. Like I'm examining my plants. If I got them in the ground, I'm going around the base of the plant, all of that. But I enjoy doing that. And to be honest, now I kind of look at it as a challenge. Like I'm gonna win, so y'all probably want to go somewhere else because it's not gonna work. But um, that is that's just sluggo. Try that, or just try some beer traps. You can also get like a shallow can and rinse it out and just put the beer or the yeast water in there and just kind of dig like a little hole. And then it's like they're attracted to the smell of the beer or the yeast. So they will go there. And then once they get in, they can't like slither out. So I want to show y'all this before I go because we did a video on it and we're actually having germination. So y'all know we have the pizza on the patio seed kit that comes with the tomato, the peppers, the oregano, and the marigold. And remember I said, and this is wet. Y'all don't keep it this wet. Sometimes I come down here real quick. I got to pour this water off. Like I come down here real quick. I'll bottom water it. And then I'll be like, okay, I'm going to come back down and pour it off, which I'm glad I'm doing this. But remember I said that I was starting my pepper seeds a little bit early because pepper seeds to me are slower to germinate than tomatoes. Like I've had them take about 2 weeks. But when we did the video, please tell me I put the date. Yep, I put the date. And today is what I want to say, 28th. And they're already starting to germinate. Like this is exciting for me. Even when I see them like peeking up out the soil, I'm like, oh man, this is exciting. So this is the lunchbox yellow bell peppers that come with the kit. And so I think on the back of the package, I put allow 14 to 21 days and they're already germinating. After this video is done, I will put the link in the live video. I know we're getting low, like down to the 2 digits, y'all, down to the 2 digits. So just make sure you go ahead and we can all grow together. Hey, CC's Texas Garden, how are you? But I'm excited to grow these all in pots. I got to start my Roma tomatoes as well. That's a part of the kit too. But it's 2 kits. And I just hear so many people say, when I get ready to move, when I move to my new house, and I'm just like, you can grow all of these in containers. You can put these plants in containers if you have a patio with a strong light source, because these are full sun plants. Like you gotta have at least 6 to 8+ hours of sun. But the thing about it is if you grow it in containers, then you can kind of like move it around. You can move it around to a spot that will get that. Or if you have time, you can move it, throughout the day. But these are the seed kits, and the 40-day cucumbers is in the other cool as a cucumber kit. But I'm excited that they're already starting to germinate. So we're going to have lots of peppers. So I'm not gonna hold y'all long because I gotta repot the bonsai basil, the fern leaf lavender. I think I'm gonna wait. These are violet seeds. So we're putting these in our herb garden. It's an edible flower that's good for I gotta be careful with what I say, y'all. That's good with assisting with different with different things. When I work with herbs, I always tell people is not to treat, cure, or diagnose. That's what you got to talk to your medical healthcare profession. So I always have to say it assists you with different things. But we're gonna have the violets in the garden, and all of these actually are gonna go in the herb garden. The za'atar. The fern leaf lavender, I may leave maybe 1 or 2 plants. I may pot them up, put them like maybe one on the patio, and then maybe one just out in the garden. Now, let me tell y'all this. Okay, so we're in zone 8A. I thought I was showing you the fern leaf. What's left of it? That's the fern leaf. We're in zone 8A. I get a lot of questions about this as well. From my experience, even when I stayed in the Savannah area, the only time I have had success with growing lavender, because we're zone 8A, is hot, it's humid, it's not the Mediterranean conditions, I have to plant them in pots. I have so much luck. Like, I got all my lavender in the garden right now because I need to cut some back. It's either in my raised beds, either in the herb garden, either in a pot. None of them are in ground, and definitely not here in the Atlanta area because it is heavy clay, and lavender do not like wet feet. So when I say wet feet, it does not like standing water around its roots. Like, that will definitely take it out. Think of like the Mediterranean conditions, because actually the type of lavender that I'm growing, 2 of them were bred for southern heat and humidity climates, which are doing like really good. But we just don't we don't put them in the ground. Now, will I try again? I might, but I'm really going to have to amend that clay soil. I might have to add in some sand. I might have to add in some compost. I might have to do a lot. So I'll never say I won't do it. But what I can tell you is every single time in Savannah, when I put them in the ground, they look pretty, and then over time they just check out. And Savannah had like sandy soil, but it was really, really humid. Uh, so we don't mind watching you pot them up. Right. I thought y'all would be like, okay, now we get the picture of you potting them up. But thanks, Shirley. I appreciate that. What did I do with my butter knife? So a lot CC said, do I winter sow the seeds? Now, if you're talking about the method where like they take the jug and put it outside, no, I haven't tried that. What I'll do is I will look at my calendar, look at the seeds I want to grow, and then I'll start them inside like this. Now we have some, let me show y'all, because I gotta clip these off. These were the seeds that were that's why I put another video on there. Let's talk about one last video, y'all. Then I'm gonna pot them up. Remember, I did a video that says don't throw away expired seeds. Now, this is not for every type of plant, but these are 2021 bachelor buttons, and I had some left over. I still got a few. I'm gonna go ahead and pot those up. I'm gonna plant these after I trim these off. But I was like, you know what? I got to use the older seeds before I crack open the new seeds. So I was just like, okay, let me go heavy with them because we're in 2025. It's 2021. I'm like, I'm finna go heavy with these bachelor buttons. They're going in the herb garden too. It's an edible flower. But do y'all see, like this last one, I really got heavy handed because I only had a few left in my hand and I was like, just put them in there. But do you see 2021 and look. But now this is what I got to do. When you are growing in cell trays like this, even if you plant 2 to 3 seeds per cell tray. So let me tell you how I do it, my philosophy. If they're old seeds like this, I'm probably going to do 3 to 5 because it's older. And when you have expired seeds, y'all, it's not to say that they're not going to germinate. This is proof right here. The germination rate may go down, which it doesn't seem like right here, but in some of them, the germination rate does go down, but it is not to mean that it will not germinate. Let me show you something else, y'all. Okay, I got to get myself together because I want to show y'all so much. Let me show you what I just planted. This is my favorite. I have had, hold on, y'all. So do y'all remember, if you have been with us for a while, back in the Savannah area, we grew the roselle plant. We used it in tea. It's really good. So we're going to grow some again. But I remember packing these up. These are my seeds that I saved. And I remember these being 2020 seeds. 2020. Now, the other day, I said, you know what? Before I go order any more roselle seeds, because these are from my garden, I said, let me just see if these, okay, we 2020. I said, let me just see if these are going to germinate. So again, when I have older seeds, I will do about maybe between 2 to 5 seeds, just depending on the year and what it is. So just say, for instance, if I have 2023 or 2024 seeds, I'll probably do 2 per sale tray. But these were 2020, the bachelor buttons for 2025. So I did about 3 to 5. Now I want y'all to look because I'm getting real better at labeling. Everybody has an issue. And my issue is labeling, saying I'm going to come back. So these are the Roselle seeds from 2020. Look when I planted them. And look at the germination rate. And I planted about 2 to 3 per sale tray. So that just goes to tell you, like, I stock up a lot at the end of the garden season when they put like their seeds on sale or clearance, because if you're in the Atlanta area, one of the Pike nurseries that I went to, she said all of these seeds are like 50% off. And so I racked up on them because I knew that a lot of those seeds, like tomato seeds, they'll keep for years. And you just have to store them like in a cool, dark place. Some people store theirs in the refrigerator, but it just depends. But that's the thing. So if I have older seeds, I'll do like between 2 to 5. Whenever I'm dealing with new seeds, like with the geranium this year, with the lavender, I do just one per sale tray. But let me caveat that with saying this. So I always plant about 25% more of what especially if you sit down and you garden plan and you say, I want to, grow these many tomatoes, these many peppers. You want to grow a few more than what you think you'll need. Some may not germinate, but then one of the problems that I just had when I potted up the marjoram, one of them just checked out. It just started. I looked at it over a couple days and it was like limp, and it just checked out. And I said, okay, well, you know what? You don't have to be here. I'm not forcing you to be here. And so I had to get rid of it. So that's why I'm always going to grow extra than what I think I'll need, because even if I harden them off, everything looks good, everything is growing good, and then I put it to where I want it to be. That's not to guarantee that it's going to like that area, that it's going to thrive in that area, but at least I'll have extra and not an empty spot to be like, okay, now what I'm going to put here now. Now, I personally don't have that problem because I stay at the garden centers with something, doing something, picking up something. But I'm just saying, a lot of times I will garden plan, and I am one of those type of people that I write it down on a piece of paper and then deviate from the plan. That's just how I am. That's how I operate. That's just me. But if you are a serious planner and you are looking at your space right now and saying, I'm going to grow 3 of these, 2 of those, plant you a little bit more, or especially if you're starting seeds, plant you a little bit more for those little factors that we just talked about. So, yeah, just do that. Yes, Jamaican sorrel, Cece, that's like, it grow so good. And I had saved a lot of the seeds after I harvested the hibiscus. The Jamaican sorrel. After I harvested, I had saved a lot of seeds, let them dry, and they have been going strong for I've had no germination issues. And these were seeds when I first got them. I got them from a farmer in Brunswick, and he just gave me one little pod. And it's part of the okra family. So y'all, I'm not gonna hold it too long. Something about when I deal with okra, like if I cut it, or something about when I hold these seeds, it makes my hand itch. And it's only with like the okra plants. And I'm like, what is going on? But so he gave me one little pod that looked like this, but inside of this pod is I would say about maybe 12 seeds or something like that. Yeah, about 12 seeds inside of here. Can y'all see them? Let's empty them out. And this is what I planted. This is what I started off with. And then that's not all of them, y'all. That's just this side. It may be about 20 seeds. So this is like 4 sections. And it's like each section has maybe about 5 to 10. So it might be like 20 seeds. But yeah, this is what a farmer gave me years ago. And I've been making sure that I save seeds, and I'm going to do the same this year. And y'all know that we now sell seeds. We got our license to sell seeds. And so once we start harvesting, because normally I don't harvest until about September, October, for the hibiscus, once we start harvesting them and drying those seed pods out, we'll be able to offer them. And I'm telling you, I've never, this has been my favorite. Now I started moringa as well. We've started some moringa. All of these are going to go in our herb garden section, y'all. I'm telling you, we are really going to be offering loose leaf herbs, herbal blends. Like, we got a lot planned for this year. So y'all make sure you subscribe, because I'm telling you, I'm going to put out a landing page also. It won't be on this video. I'm going to be honest with y'all, to where you could just get on our email list, or where you could just get on our text message list, just to know, because every time I always email first, I text message, and then I put it out on social media. But every time we sell out, and I get so many emails, like I didn't even, like one lady was like, I didn't even know until it was sold out. And I felt so bad. That's why we're growing so much lavender this year, is because of that. Like, I don't, and in the future, because this is a good tea. I'm not about to lie to y'all. This is a good tea. Like, it, not only is it good, but it's tasty. You know, sometimes I drink tea I just get it down my throat, you know, like just for the medicinal purposes. But other times I like to just really have a good tea. And y'all, I'm trying to take Shirley's advice and pot up while I'm talking, and I've lost my little butter knife. I do this all the time. And Crispy asked, he like, "Why? What are you doing?" I just be putting stuff down. I'm bad about that with garden tools too, but this tea it's really good. My sister actually asked me, did I have any more? And I was like, ooh, I'm sorry, I don't. But we're gonna get some. We're gonna get some. Y'all don't worry. But I will put a landing page in the coming weeks, to where all you just can do, like all you have to do is just sign up for the email, so you can be on either the email or the text message list, so you'll be the first one to know. I'll be honest with y'all, I always email my email list and my text message list first. Okay, I think some plants need to rest a while to germinate. Yes, I agree with you, Dakota. That's why I like, say for instance, if I collect seeds, I'll store them the proper way, and I won't like try to plant them again to like maybe the next gardening season, like that. Even like with the calendula, so we saved a lot of our calendula seeds from the garden this year. I'm able to plant them in the spring and the fall, but the ones that I harvested in the spring, like I didn't plant them again. I'm going to plant them like this spring. So I didn't plant them in the fall. I had some more seeds that I planted in the fall, like that. Yeah, we listen and we don't judge. That's right. That's right. And you can use the leaf. Yes, the leaf is good too. Like the whole, do y'all use it kind of like as a stir fry? Someone told me that they use the hibiscus leaves like kind of as like a stir fry too, because it was edible as well. So yeah, I'm excited about growing that, but I definitely wanted to share that with you all. I know it was a lot. The whole video was supposed to be about the fern leaf lavender, how we pot it up, and just going over, if you have trouble starting seeds, try to put it either in the freezer or the refrigerator first for about 4 to 6 weeks to simulate a winter. See, my hands starting to itch. I don't know what it is. I just don't know. But when I drink the tea, no itching. Who knows? Also, we talked about the geranium. This is what I'm trying this year as my natural insect repellent against Japanese beetles. And we had a really good germination rate with this. And just the fact that once they get about 2 to 4 true leaves on here, I'm starting to see them come. But then we'll start with our liquid fertilizer. I'm probably gonna have to pot these up too. Probably, but I'll figure that out because what I'm going to do, the bachelor buttons and the calendula are cool weather flowers for us. So I could probably go ahead, harden these off, and not now, maybe in the next coming weeks, harden those off and then start putting them out in the herb garden. So all my cool weather things, I can go ahead and start putting those out. I got some nasturtiums. I can go ahead and put those out because they actually, like when it gets real hot, they start checking out anyway. They just like, this too much for me. So we'll do that as well. But we're going to try that as our natural insect repellent from the Japanese beetles. And then whenever you're starting seeds inside, you definitely got to think about, if you're starting them in soil blocks, you're going to have to pot them up. They cannot, they can't, I mean, now y'all can do what you want to do because it's your stuff. It's not mine. But they cannot stay like this. This is actually too long. I should have been potted these up, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there slowly but surely. I did pot some of them up and they're growing really nice. They're supposed to be really small. You can actually, they say you can grow these inside, bonsai basil, but it kind of grows like a bonsai tree. That's why I wanted to try that as well. But just think about potting up. Think about fertilizing if you need to, because a lot of the seed starting mix don't have any fertilizer in there. The purpose of them is to make that soil light so that the seed can use its energy and push up, and then you take over from there. Oh, juicing the leaves is a good idea, Herman. That's a good idea. I'm gonna remember that. I will remember that. I struggle keeping my lavender seedlings alive. Okay, so that's really good, Chanel. I hope I'm saying it right. I kind of let my lavender, and I'm glad you brought that up. That's why I've always grown it in pots, because they don't like wet feet. So I actually let my lavender dry out between waterings. I'm not saying like bone dry. You know how some plants, you know that it's dry because the leaves will start to wilt and you like, ooh, I probably should water that. Now, I watered this one yesterday, but it'll be a few more days. I actually try to let the lavender, just the soil, dry out a little bit before I water them because I know that they don't like the wet feet. The same thing in the pots outside. I don't water them as much because they don't like a lot of water around their roots. So just try that. Don't let it get like bone dry, but let it get, to where it's dry enough. When you look at it, you say, "Ooh, I think I might better water this." I know I might be, and I don't want to say I am, but it doesn't bother me until, like, even if and I know I should be having gloves on, but even if I go out to cut okra, it just feels like I don't know if it's like a itchy fit. I don't know. It's not like I'm breaking out, but it's just like this feeling that something's on me. And it's only when I deal with those. So yeah, I'm gonna go wash my hands. I'm gonna go wash my hands. But okay, y'all. So I'm gonna get back to potting up all of this. I appreciate y'all taking time out of your day to spend it with me. I love sharing these things with y'all. I just wanted to share what was going on, especially with the lavender since we just did the video, the geranium since we just did the video. And then we're going to have some more videos coming out this week. And I will probably put a community post up as well once I get like a page done that just says, hey, you want to know about what's going on when the tea blend drops again. If we're going to drop some loose leaf herbs, I will tell you that. I'm working on that. I got to do, so we're going to have toast, no, the Vana holy basil. I've got that packaged up. We're about to do lemongrass, calendula flowers, and all of these are from our garden because I make a lot of calendula salve and calendula oil, but we're going to offer the calendula flowers, the holy basil. I'm missing one. Lemongrass. I want to say lemon verbena. I have to see how, and these were just harvested like around November, but I like to give them enough time to dry and do all of that. But we've been packaging them. So I'm going to put that page on there just to be notified when we're having stuff. But also our email newsletters we offer all type of garden tips on here as well, things that you can try. So it's not just about selling, y'all. We're actually giving tips. Like I told one lady, if you look at our channel, I think I have over 1,000 videos where I'm just giving tips, because my main thing is I just want people to start growing. I've heard too many people say, I don't have a green thumb, I can't grow. You can. You could do whatever you put your mind to. You could do it. But I'm not gonna start on a like I tell my dad, okay, this I'm not gonna start on a lecture, but you could do it. Even if you have the smallest doubt, get it out your head and just do it. And just know that, like I just told y'all with the marjoram, that plant, it was just that one plant. And it just kept on until I was like, you about to check out. You don't want to be here? Fine. You can get out. Sometimes I do talk to my plants like that, but you could do it. You could do it, and just try. It's all a journey, y'all. Okay. So I'm going to get done with this. I hope you all have an amazing evening, and we'll talk again soon. Bye, y'all.